Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Hi. Oh. Hey, you're not at home. You're not at work. You're at a conference. Let's have some fun. Lunch is up there, right? We are between lunch and you. Okay? So let's bring some love in here. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi. Woo! Awesome.
Great. So this is Chris from ThinkTecture.
And this is my colleague, Thorsten from ThinkTecture.
We are both Germans.
And we're really sorry about that.
But please join us in the upcoming 20-something minutes on a journey where we take you, or where we show you how we support our customers to build modern business applications for all platforms using Angular 2.
Right, so we're doing some boring stuff right now, right? We don't have blinking light bulbs. We don't have other fancy, crazy stuff. We have boring business applications. We want to talk about how to build modern business applications today with a real cross-platform effort. So that means that we're not just building code based on Angular 2 for the browser, just being able to run in the browser, but also have a way to actually move those applications and the one code base onto the mobile devices and onto the desktop application platforms as well. Because what we usually do with our consulting clients and customers is we think about the real potential of all platforms, all operating systems, all form factors, not just mobile. It's not just about smartphone, right? It's about any platform, about any device. And that's the idea of modern business applications, where we actually want to use one code base. Of course, there is one very special topic in there, and that's the user experience, right? And user experience means we need to think about how to actually design the UI for the mobile phone, how to design the UI for the tablet form factor, and how to use the large real estate screen on the desktop. Well, that's not the topic of this session. Because we are developers, we have no clue about UI. Who has a clue about UI here? Yeah, you're lying, right? So we just have a small sample application, and that small sample application is being brought to you by Bootstrap. And we're just using it in order to show how to use an existing Angular web app, an Angular 2 web application, and what we can do in order to make a web app an app. You know, a web app is running in the browser, and an app is running on the mobile and on the desktop operating systems. Cool. So let's take a look at that. It's a very, very small sample application. It's called Boards. Maybe you can pump up the font a little bit with Command+. Great. So, of course, it's not a real business application, but the use cases are, as in a lot of business applications we are facing. We have security. Nobody wants to do security. We do a login, and the login goes to a security token service and gets back a JSON, a JSON web token, and that web token is being used to send over to all the APIs, the web APIs, the REST APIs, and the backend is actually running inside of Microsoft Azure Cloud right now. Of course, every modern application needs a dashboard, because without a dashboard, it's not a piece of software. Huh? So we have a colorful and shiny, brighty dashboard, and one of the major use cases is managing games in a master detailed kind of way. So we have a list of games, so here we have prepared one game, we can have game details, or we can add a new game. And by adding a new game, we're just providing some small data in there. And when we hit save, what we get offered is geolocation API through the web browser, and of course, we can take a beautiful picture of the player. I said beautiful.
Well,
you don't listen, dude.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So if we now say opt-in, it's going to send up the entire package with the binary data and the structured data up to the web API. Great. What else do we have? Let's go back to the dashboard. Now we have more entries in here, and we can do a player search. Let's do a player search. It's a radius search. Let's do 50 kilometers and search for all the players currently searching. And we can see that the application is built with Twitter Bootstrap, and it's actually responsive, right? And somehow nobody's playing. Oh no, there is one guy playing. Oh no, there's two guys playing. You have You have a twin brother?
Yes.
Oh, yes. He has been playing just a couple of minutes ago, I guess. So that's a very, very simple web app with typical use cases: binary data, non-binary data, structured data, master data, detailed data, login, and so on and so forth. But that's boring. I mean, sorry, it's really, really boring stuff.
Yeah.
What about taking this application and going mobile? So there are a lot of customers that say, okay, we need to get into the app stores. Others say, it's all great, it's running in the browser, but the browsers are not yet capable of really going deeply native, like talking to native APIs. Not yet, maybe. So there is one framework called Apache Cordova. And Apache Cordova is an open source software framework. And what we will now do is we take the web app and create a mobile app. It's clear what the app means? Okay, so we are going to take the existing output of the, I think we need to pump up the font a little bit more, or like this. We take the existing output of the web application, we just create a new Cordova project. So Cordova is two things. On the one hand, it's a tooling, command line tools. On the other hand, it's a bunch, it's a really big repository of plugins, okay? So Trust is now going to create via the CLI a new Cordova project, and based on the Cordova project, which is kind of a metadata thingy, we're going to add the platforms. We want to see iOS, we want to see Android, and of course we want to see the world's biggest mobile operating system ever, Windows Mobile. So that's why we add all the three platforms. Based on the platforms, we are adding plugins, like the geolocation plugin for more accurate information of geolocation, like the camera plugin for more native camera access, and a couple of others. What's getting generated is a metadata system, which are the Cordova project, and the Cordova projects are being maintained by the Angular CLI. And one of the artifacts that is getting generated is the config.xml file. Okay? So the config.xml file contains metadata. Let's just jump back and start the build process, because this is going to take a little bit of time. So we are going to take one of our npm run scripts to actually build the entire mobile application for all three platforms. So what does, yes, thanks. What does the config.xml actually do? Well, it's describing the metadata that is being used over all platforms that we are using, over any platform, and also special metadata just for a particular platform. So for example, what config.xml uses will be generated into an Xcode project. It will be generated into an info.plist file on iOS. Or it will be generated into an android.manifest for the Android platform. Or it will be generated into a Visual Studio AppX manifest file for the Windows 10 Universal Windows platform. So here we are specifying what should happen with a status bar, because we know in iOS we have this status bar at the top. We're going to specify what happens with the splash screen, and we are going to specify what happens when we are using Android when it comes to the Android SDK version.
Okay.
So what this build process does in the background is it sucks down all the metadata, all the packages for the platforms, for all three major platforms, well, two major platforms plus the other one. It sucks down all the plugins, right? It sucks down, no, it doesn't suck down, but it takes a pre-manufactured PNG image and creates splash screens and app icons for each and every platform, for each and every version, for each and every form factor of the devices. It's all done automatically. And then it's going to compile it. And in order to compile it, we really need the native underlying SDKs. So that means we need the iOS SDK on a macOS machine, we need the Windows SDKs on a Windows machine, and we need Android SDKs on any machine, because it works on Linux, on macOS, and on Windows. Okay. For Windows, we are using UWP, which is the Universal Windows Platform. Universal Windows Platform is a Windows 10 feature, which means that we can have one code base and being able to run it on Windows 10 desktop, on Windows 10 mobile, and on the Xbox.
Yes.
So that means our business application is going to run on the Xbox. Wow, that's awesome. So now we are actually at the Java build process. You see, it takes some time. Of course, that's for the demonstration here in the session. We are building all 3 platforms at once. Maybe that's not what you want in real world. That's not what you want in your day-to-day developer's life. Maybe you just want to build for one platform, right? What we usually do is we are developing 95% inside of the browser, inside of Chrome actually, and then the rest of the 5% we are using our build system in order to build the mobile apps, in order to build the actual Cordova-based apps to run on iOS, to run on Windows, or to run on Android. Okay, so you already started the simulator.
Right.
The build is done. The build is done, which means we are now going to execute the application in the simulator. You see there's a splash screen. You have seen, hopefully, there is an application icon, and you will see, because we have a responsive layout, we now have a mobile app, so it's an app. We can build from the web app running on iOS. And we can log in, and we can actually swipe, so it's a swipe in menu with a gesture, so you can use your thumb to actually swipe in and swipe out the menu. And yeah, it just works. Just works based on one code base. Let's start Android. Android is maybe a little bit more successful than Windows Mobile. I'm not sure.
A bit.
Maybe, a bit. And for Android, we're not using the SDK emulators because they are dog slow. We're using genymotion as an emulation platform which runs on Oracle's VirtualBox, okay? And here you can see, yada, yada, ba. Here we go, here's the app. That's really good timing.
Yeah, it is.
Here is the application, the same code base, the same user with a highly secure username and password, by the way.
Yep.
I think you have already seen that, and it's running the same approach. And of course, it looks like our application. It doesn't look native because that's not the use case. The use case is that the application has a corporate design and a corporate identity, and that the application looks the same everywhere. Spotify, anyone? Right, exactly. So you were unable to type.
No, we have some.
I know.
Yeah.
Last but not least, let's go to Windows. So let's go and copy the generated code, because the Angular CLI always generates native code. So it generates an Xcode project, it generates a Java solution, and it generates a Visual Studio solution. Actually, it generates 3 solutions. And inside of each solution, we have 3 to 4 projects. So this is the Windows VM. And inside of the Windows VM, we are going to work with Visual Studio.
Yep.
Let's open the solution here. And we are actually only interested in one project in there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 are Windows specific. The other one is just the Cordova project. And we are interested in the Windows 10 UWP, the Universal Windows Platform, once again, okay? Repeat after me. Universal Windows Platform. Oh, great audience, thank you. And after hitting F5, we can see we have the app being installed, we have the ThinkTexture logo on the screen, and we have the application now running as a UWP. And really, it's no joke, it runs on the Xbox. It's not usable, but it works. Just saying, that's Windows 10 UWP. But still, dude, that's kind of boring, right?
Yes, it is.
Now we have a mobile app just sitting there, but it's not doing anything. Let's get a little bit more native-ish.
Native-ish.
Let's do a little bit more native integration. And let's do this integration based on the camera, on the devices. So now we're going to use a Cordova plugin in order to talk to to the native camera implementation. For that, we have prepared the code in our Angular 2 app. Currently, it returns the desktop camera service. Now let's change it to check whether it's running on a mobile platform. When it's running on a mobile platform, we are injecting the mobile camera service. Either we are, or otherwise, we are using the desktop camera service. And this is perfectly integrated with the Angular 2 dependency injection system, the providers, and the Angular module system. Okay, so you changed that?
Yep.
So we are going to start the process right now. We have another npm run this mobile iOS. So what does that camera service actually do?
Well, so this is just the Angular service where we talk to the Cordova plugin API. So it's a JavaScript API that we can use to configure how the platform or how the plugin should interact on each and every platform. And right here, we're just configuring how the picture will be taken if the quality is set to 100% or 50%. And as soon as the user has taken the picture, the plugin overhands the base 64 encoded representation of the image to Angular 2, and Angular 2 pushes up the data to the web API.
Cool, so that means let's try to plug in your phone.
Yep.
You have a beautiful white iPhone.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the command line. Should the build already be done?
It's
it's rebuilding everything,
still thinking.
including the images and including the splash and the icon. But it should be done
in a second.
soon, in a minute. Hopefully not a minute, because a minute is a lot of time here.
Yeah, it is.
It should be done soon. Great. So now we are going to open up Xcode. And inside of Xcode, we need to change one setting. That has changed with Xcode 8. They change things each and every time they are releasing a major version of Xcode, by the way. And after Thorsten has changed that one setting, we are going to compile the app inside with a new setting. So we need to set the team here and just hit run, compiling, building. Just zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's being deployed. Yes, something happens on the phone. Okay, let's start QuickTime Player. QuickTime Player will mirror now Thorsten's iPhone, okay? And you have a very important task right now. Please cheese loudly, okay? Because, well, not yet. That's his iPhone. That's our running app, live on the iPhone. Let's try to log in with the super secure credentials. Let's go to an existing game. Let's go to an existing game. Now it's asking, may I use your location? Yes, because it's native now. It's asking again, may I use your camera? Yes, because it's native now. And now do a selfie. Cheese! Awesome! Now we have a mobile app running on Cordova, running on iOS, running on Windows 10, running on Windows 8, running on Windows 8.1, running on Android, running in the browser. Awesome! But, well, please, we still have some minutes. What about the desktop? Everybody is calling and shouting, mobile, mobile, mobile. To be honest, a large percentage of our customers and our projects is all about desktop development. Mobile is cool, but it's not everything, right? So we still need a way to get going on the desktop. You have been doing a lot of projects in the past month to integrate locally installed Windows applications by using Angular running code from the web browser and putting it into an executable engine on the desktop so that it can talk to locally installed software.
Right.
And let's look at how we can do that. So there are various frameworks and tools for that. We are going to use. We are going to use Electron right now. Electron has become very, very famous because Microsoft is building his Visual Studio Code application entirely cross-platform. People, I tell you, hell has frozen over, right? So we are going to use Electron here as well. We need two things. First, we need two files, which is the package.json, the metadata information for the application, and we need another one, which is the index.js file. And of course, we need the runtime engine for Electron. But what does this index.js actually do?
Well, so I call that file the instruction file, and it tells Electron how the app should behave if you start the app either on Windows, on macOS, or on Linux. So nothing fancy here. We're just configuring how the app, in which size it should open, which title it should it have a title bar or something else. But what we're doing for now to get up and running quickly, we're just linking the app to the existing compiled Angular 2 application.
So again, we are taking the web app and creating a desktop app, okay? And for this, we are using Electron pre-built package. This means we are just executing Electron dot, and hopefully you type, boom! So now we have a macOS application. Zoom in a little bit, maybe. Yeah, but dude, it's boring.
Again, yep.
Dude, it's boring. What are you doing, actually?
Oh, well.
Boring stuff?
Yep.
Who's your boss?
Yeah.
Well. So let's get a little bit more fancy. I mean, just having a desktop application is nice for deployment reasons, for versioning reasons, well, there are various reasons. But let's get a little bit more native. We can either use existing Node modules to talk to the native platforms and do anything, including deleting the Windows registry, or just using the Electron APIs. And we're going to do that, Thorsten.
Yep.
So let's just go and use a global command shortcut in order to toggle the Chrome development tools at runtime. Because Electron, at the end of the day, is a marriage, it's a love affair of Chromium as the view engine and Node.js as the execution engine, okay? And we're just going to use one of the built-in features to do that. And the other one we are doing is we are creating a tray app icon. You know, in macOS, it's a tray app. In Windows, it's a taskbar application. Okay, we're going to use that as well. It's really just a couple of lines of code. We have some metadata describing what should go in there. And when we now go and compile this application, so we have an npm script running that again, we are actually building all three major desktop platforms, and I should talk a little bit slower so that the task finishes while I am looking at you.
Yeah, well, it takes some time. But
it takes some time, but it should actually be much, much quicker than Cordova. And what happens is we're using a special gulp module, and we have written a plethora of gulp tasks. And what it is doing, it is pre-packaging the applications, right? So we get a real macOS app, we get a real Windows exe, we get a real Ubuntu application. Here we have it, OS X, and see that. It's just an app, right? You don't see there's a Chrome in there, you don't see it's Node, you don't see anything, you just see, oh, it looks like the new boards application from Vintecture, wow! And we have integration with a menu, we have integration with an about dialog, and last but not least, we can see up there with a heart icon, because we are not designers, as I told you, with a heart icon, that's our tray app, and if we click up there, it will change down there. So we have inter-process communication through JavaScript inside of an Angular 2 application. Now you can clap. Okay. Let's go to Windows. Let's go and copy the generated code to Windows. It's a Windows 10 machine again. It's the same, actually. And based on that, we get an exe here. We start it. It's executing. And it's executing. And again, just look at the bottom, at the right bottom corner. We have now radio search on here, just integrated into the Windows taskbar. And last but not least, Ubuntu. Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu.
Here we go.
Copy it over from the generated folder, being able to run it on Ubuntu. And boom, that's it. Guys, you have just seen, really, in 24 minutes, a highly optimized session, by the way, where we have taken an existing web app with Angular 2, We have moved it onto the mobile platforms with Cordova. We have moved them onto the desktop platforms with Electron. We have integrated on the mobile platforms with plugins and have integrated them on the desktop platforms with the Node modules and the Electron APIs. All this is powered by the build process, and we don't have a demo for that. It's powered by the build process, by the development process, and we really love Gulp. We will investigate in other toolkits like Webpack and others, but currently everything we do for automation and for the build process is all powered by Gulp. And we will provide you with a sample after the session. You have just seen how you can build modern business applications in 25-something minutes.
25-something, yeah.
25-something minutes. And we hope that you will further enjoy the conference, and we hope that you will enjoy the Champions League matches tonight and tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.